All praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first in everything we do and say. Good morning or good day to each and every one of you that will be watching this video. I am Christ, I am Disciple. You're watching my channel. If you like what you've seen, don't forget you can like, share, subscribe. You can also donate via PayPal. The link is in the description. This stream is brought to you by LIVE products.
A pleasant good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. The LIVE brand has expanded from drinks to punches. The punches cost $15. The drinks cost $10. In the drinks we have grapefruit orange sorrel, fruit punch, Morby lemon, ginger ale, and lime. In the punches, we have pumpkin, banana, Guinness, cocoa. We have sea moss, beetroot, molasses, and peanut punch. To order, check the description. LIVE, live now. We're live now.
Also have in the LIVE brand these.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. The LIVE brand also includes cleaning products. Now, here we have a number of cleaning products. To your right is disinfectant. This here is dishwashing liquid. This is fabric softener. But we have a new LIVE product, this product right here. This is car wash. Car wash soap. We also have liquid detergent. To order, check the description. LIVE, live now. We're live now.
Now, the LIVE products are only found in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you are a person in Trinidad and Tobago, we have not gone international, we haven't gone regional, you can order these products, okay? And the information, as I said before, is in the description. Shout out to everybody. Oh, Restore the Snyderverse. We got a lot to talk about with respect to Restore the Snyderverse. The more we see people move away from the Snyderverse, the more we value it, the more we realize that Zack Snyder was the guy for DC. And I see more and more people becoming vocal about this, the more and more we look at what is to come. You know, a lot of people say, oh, move on from the Snyderverse. The problem with that is this, ladies and gentlemen. The problem with that is that when we look for something better or to look forward to something, there's not much to look forward to, okay? We're not seeing directors like, Philip Todd or like a really quality director who understands film doing something for DC. You know, we would get excited if there was somebody who would come in to do DC. Zack Snyder set such a high bar for DC universe. You know, he set a certain tone, and a lot of us bought into it from day one. At least from the trailers, that is, from the day one going into the cinemas. So it's very difficult. You have to understand it's very difficult now for us to just dismiss this universe if there's nothing coming that supersedes it, nothing coming that gets us excited like we were excited for that universe. And there's nothing out there right now that's like that. And that's the problem. When we look at James Gunn's trailer, this is his trailer here. Is this the first thing you're going to show us? Why is it? It's always some depravity. Why is it Superman needs to be in this position? You understand what I'm saying? And this is the sort of thing that, we as people, we as fans, DC fans particularly, we don't like. We don't like that the fandom sees our heroes being beaten up and bashed. Nobody liked that Superman was getting beat up in Batman v Superman and being sullied by the world. So why would we want to see our superheroes beaten up? But James Gunn has a history when it comes to DC of tearing down the major superheroes, tearing down Superman, tearing down Batman, tearing down Wonder Woman, tearing down Aquaman, right? And his Peacemaker series went in depth. Then in his in his Suicide Squad, supposedly death. What the guy name? I forgot what his name is. Supposedly, one of the Suicide Squad members shot Superman and hurt him somehow. Everything that James Gunn has been doing and everything he will do will sully or deprive. He will always try to put the superheroes in a deprived position. I look the same thing Joss Whedon did with Wonder Woman, with Flash, with Batman, with Superman. Superman didn't look good at all. It's almost like these people mock these heroes. And James Gunn has said time and time again, he thinks they are ridiculous. He thinks superheroes are ridiculous. And not that he doesn't love them, but he thinks they're ridiculous. And it's not a sentiment limited to James Gunn alone, okay? If you go to the Black community, they look at superheroes the same way. They say, these things are a mockery. You wouldn't see Batman inside, talk about Gotham, but you wouldn't see him inside of a ghetto. You wouldn't see him inside of their project areas, you know. Batman's always dealing with white people or some sort of, So James Gunn is saying that these superheroes do not relate to his life. He loves them. They're entertaining. But how do they relate to him? Coming up from a poor background where you had to fight against all the odds to make it up there. So I'm not saying that James Gunn is necessarily, his point of view is limited to him. I'm just saying, if you're going to have somebody, and of course he's a skeptic, so obviously the way how he's going to approach superheroes is going to be different, okay? Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying he sees them as comedy. That's why he loves them. Now, with respect to, say, somebody like Zack Snyder, why I said that James Gunn, and let me just make this clear. Do I personally hate James Gunn? No. He's a human being. He has faults. Okay? Like anybody. But my problem with the situation is not that James Gunn can't make a Superman movie. He's making one. So he is making a Superman movie. My problem with it is he's going to look at Superman in the most sarcastic, skeptical mindset. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because that may be a way to test Superman. All right? That may be a way to test Superman. So maybe coming from that perspective may make James Gunn, hopefully, with somebody who's very sincere, like David Cornsweet, he's definitely sincere about it. Maybe David Cornsweet will win over James Gunn to Superman. Maybe David Cornsweet may push the Superman story and make the Superman story something because of his sincerity. Maybe. And may make a skeptical guy like James Gunn won over, So maybe the casting may do it. But what I'm saying is James Gunn is not going to come from the perspective of someone who is looking at Superman as a virtuous superhero. He's looking at it from a comedic standpoint. He's looking at it from a very skeptical standpoint. So where Zack Snyder tests Superman because he respected Superman and he understood that this icon couldn't survive that long if it didn't have something with it. And put Superman through the most strenuous test, and he kept Superman earnest through it. James Gunn's gonna come from a different angle. James Gunn himself is not convinced, and James Gunn is saying, "Convince me that the things that fans claim you should be, you should be." So James Gunn's gonna test that. Superman doesn't kill. Okay, he's gonna test that. Superman in the trunks, does he look stupid? We're gonna test that. But the thing with James Gunn is when he's going to be testing out Superman like that, and Superman's this underdog Superman, obviously he's an underdog throughout the story. That's how James Gunn's going to try to rally everybody behind Superman because Superman's going to be this underdog, right? But anyway, James Gunn is going to test that through his own sarcasm, his own malevolence, his own distrust of this icon. And he's going to say, prove to me that you really are what the fans say you should be. So that's how James Gunn is approaching the Superman movie, which is an interesting way to approach it. The reason why this movie's not going to be able to, let me put it this way. This Superman movie is going to be Superman in James Gunn's eyes. It's going to be a personal movie for James Gunn. So regardless of whether it flops or it does well, it's going to be some sort of catharsis for James Gunn. Because James Gunn is asking a question to himself. Is virtue that people purport a person to have worth it? Is perception more important than inherent being? Or shall I say, he's going to confront the question, is inherent being really what we are perceiving? Is somebody transparent enough that other people are really seeing the true them? So that's the question that I think he's going to try to address in the Superman movie, which is a very good question. Okay. Now, having said that, I will say this, that he's got a huge uphill battle he's going to be confronting, because James Gunn himself, is a low down piece of trash. Oh, I hate saying that, because he probably heard this his whole life, because he's come from what people call white trash. So James Gunn is used to this. So when I say he's a low down dirty piece of trash, I mean it literally. I mean the things he's done, the way how he approaches things, the way how he's even getting himself into position to do what he's doing. It's pretty low down. It's pretty dirty. It's trashy. However, he wants to, out of this, be persuaded that there are people in this world who are genuine, honest. He's very, very skeptical of this. He's very pessimistic on this topic, even though he's a born-again Christian. He's very skeptical of it. And this movie is going to hopefully shed some light on that with some people who are really genuine. So it should be interesting how, I'm not even interested about how the movie performs, because it's got a tremendous uphill battle to do well, to perform with. And on top of that, I think that it's going to be tough given the background that this movie has to deal with. Meaning, you're going up against Henry Cavill, the guy that you just got rid of. James Gunn made this situation. He could have used Henry Cavill. He could have not directed this movie. I guess he got certain mandates. So he's okay. What he's trying to do is give all the negative points of the movie first, so that when people see it, they get wowed, which is a very clever thing. How people underestimate the movie, and then, but what he's bringing to the table, and what that movie is bringing to the table, unfortunately, I see what he wants to do. My problem is that the execution of it is going to be what he's going to have a problem with. I wish James Gunn had brought Zack Snyder back into DC and decided to sort of be more of a facilitator in the background, and even a writer. Maybe collab with Zack and write something again, because what he's trying to pull off, he can do in his James Gunn style, but it's not going to attract a lot of people who go and watch DC. And the problem with him is, because, as I said before, he's so trashy, and what he did to the DC fans, I think that backlash is definitely going to come to bite him. The movie needs to make $900 million plus to break even because of the budget. It's $363 million is the budget allocated for this movie. I don't know how much of that budget they're going to actually use, but that's the budget that's allocated for the movie. And he lies so much So it's like you got this humongous hill to climb. People are talking about 500 million, the movie making 600. I don't think it's going to make anything near that, you know. And I'm not trying to, again, be gloom and doom. I'm just assessing the situation. Of course, if it makes, what it hits those marks, that'll be great. If it hits a billion, that'll be great, because it's great for DC. Okay. Not great for me, not great for Restore the Snyderverse, but great for DC. Okay. So I say all of this to say that what we're seeing now is desperation. We're seeing desperation by fans of James Gunn, by people in the industry, by Warner Brothers Pictures, by Warner Brothers and DC. We're seeing desperation because what they're starting to do is use cancel culture to remove accounts off of Twitter or X, which have been not necessarily critical of James Gunn, but definitely showing the lack of quality that James Gunn has with his movies and the series of movies that came and the Snyderverse. And I think, I believe it is, I forgot what his name is, Neil. Neil got his account suspended for speaking on the fact that we have a number of sexual predators around James Gunn, um, who have been brought up on charges of recent times. So it's amazing how someone reported him on that, which was, again, all the information's out there. It's literally factual stuff, and his account was suspended, and another account was suspended, and then they have this hit list. So I'm going to show you all of that right now. But first, look at these two different logos. Right, James Gunn's logo is a lot simpler. And the sun is behind the logo, and it's a simple design. It doesn't cost any money whatsoever, right? So James Gunn is definitely on a budget of some kind. I don't know. They're saying the budget is 365 million, but I don't know if he's even using anything near that amount of money. He may be pocketing a lot of it, but he ain't using it. I can tell you that. You see, this is what he's going up against. He's going up against DC fans who want to see Superman throw down with Darkseid, who want to see Lois Lane get burned up, who want to see Superman and Batman's interaction in the apocalyptic future, who want to see how Batman sacrifices everything and Superman comes back to fight Darkseid with the whole entire Justice League. This is where we're at when it comes to DC, and you're getting a resounding response for that. It's just a few Gunts out there. And like I said before, they're getting pretty desperate now. They really are. Here is, you know, you got the Dark Knight's Batman right there, and then you see Ben Affleck's Batman, and oh my God, facially they don't look quite the same. They have the double chin and everything, but then facially don't. But look at them physically, the physical built. I mean, Ben Affleck built himself into freaking Dark Knight Returns Batman. Come on, people. It's ridiculous. That's just the appearance. Let's not talk about the ideology. We'll get there in a minute. But oh my goodness. This is why we need to restore the Snyderverse. I don't know how anybody in their right mind could think that Ben Affleck's Batman is not the quintessential Batman. I mean, Kevin Conroy said it. I mean, when you're getting Frank Miller praising your Batman, Frank Miller doesn't praise anyone's Batman, okay? That's because Ben Affleck took due diligence and they consulted Frank Miller to do BVS, okay? I got so much I got to say to you guys about Restore the Snyderverse before I even get into anything else. Jenna Ortega says she was told in an interview that Snyder's Man of Steel is her favorite CBM of all time and that Snyder is truly a genius. Oh my goodness, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show y'all something else here. DCU fact number 108. The first shoot of the Trinity was something special. While Gal Gadot said it felt odd standing in costumes first, Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and herself became their characters. People stood agog. Sykes, Henry Cavill, some crew members even cried. Even Zack Snyder was blown away. Oh my God, this is crazy. Seeing two of them was enough. But the Trinity, over 75 years, and have never shared the screen until now. It's really history right here. Comic book history. Ladies and gentlemen, Zack Snyder has done so many firsts and brought to us stuff that we would never have seen before. We never would have seen Wonder Woman on the big screen until Zack Snyder put her in there in BVS. And Patty Jenkins did the revolutionary, gender-breaking. It spawned the Me Too movement. All kinds of shit went down after Wonder Woman 2017 went on the screens, and women cried when they saw the Amazons fighting in a different way they'd never seen women fight. And when women fight, they cooperate. And that was crazy shit right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. So let me tell you, that's a revolutionary film. Wonder Woman 2017 is a revolutionary film. Okay. It's incredible. A lot of women got a catharsis watching that movie. They didn't even realize that this was inside of them, pent up inside of them. So much nuance to that movie. Not only women, but men. And it changed the way we look at each other. It was a revolutionary film. As simple as it seemed, it was a crazy film talking about leadership, talking about, cooperation, love and unity, having a society that's civil, that people can talk and argue and debate things and work things out. It's an incredible film, ladies and gentlemen, incredible film. Themyscira was crazy. And again, not all of Themyscira was CG. They used a grounded Themyscira. So it was very, very, you felt the visceral stuff. There was real action scenes, real action going on. I can't speak how I can only laud applause on Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins, Zack Snyder coordinated with her. Zack Snyder did some of the story. And, the stunt team, the Zack Snyder's stunt team was there to help Patty Jenkins get the action right. Oh, my God, the revelation of Wonder Woman on that battlefield was incredible. I'm sure a lot of people emotionally felt it. That was an incredible film, and it would never have happened had Zack Snyder not done Batman v Superman. So when people tell me, oh, Man of Steel 2, Zack Snyder should have done Man of Steel 2 instead of BVS. No, BVS literally was the sequel to Man of Steel. And thank God it was, because we got to see Wonder Woman. And the highlight of BVS, one of the highlights of BVS, there was several, Ben Affleck, Batman tearing through stuff in the Batman warehouse scene. But one of the things that grew tremendous applause, nobody expected it, was Wonder Woman appearing on the scene and saving Batman in Wonder Woman style against Doomsday. That was incredible. And nobody forgot that. It's one of the most memorable moments. That's what made people I want to see more Wonder Woman. Well, you're going to see more Wonder Woman. Okay? You're going to see more Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman wasn't a big thing for me until that moment. And when I saw the trailer with Wonder Woman knocking away the bombshell with her shield, I was like, fuck, this shit gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Then you have Henry Cavill Superman. Well, Superman is one of the most boring characters you can ever have. And I think James Gunn is going to try to make Superman less boring by having it as an underdog sort of thing. But, oh man, Henry Cavill made Superman interesting. You know who said that? Who said that Henry Cavill made Superman interesting? Not Dan Jerkins. If you guys know the name of the guy, let me know. But oh my God, man, come on. It's going to come to me. Don't worry. It's coming to me. The name is coming and slipping. Grant Morrison said Zack made Superman interesting. And it wasn't Zack. It was David Goyer's brainchild. David Goyer wanted to do Superman so bad. David Goyer's brainchild. We got to give David Goyer a lot of credit. You know, everybody always forgets David Goyer in the weeds, and they always talk about Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan. No, the person who came up with this idea, the person who came up with this Superman, this is David Goyer's idea. Let's not, no, come on now. We can't steal it from David Goyer. Zack came to make it a reality as a director. But the one who wrote this character into existence, the one who pushed for this character to be on the screen after so many years and was successful monetarily, not necessarily critically, even though the audience accepted him, but monetarily got the character on board, got the character up and running, and we were able to start a universe off of it, was David Goyer. Let's never forget that now, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people try to talk bad about David Goyer. David Goyer is the guy that got, this is his brainchild. This is his conception. Okay? So it's very important to understand Superman. What were the greatest moments of Superman? Well, Superman had his moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League when he appeared and stopped Steppenwolf from assaulting Cyborg. That was the best. That was the freaking pinnacle of Superman right there. And how he said, not impressed. Oh my gosh. Hey, that was Superman. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who know Superman, that's Superman, right? He's there. He's back. You know, when Wonder Woman said he's back, he wasn't Superman then. But when he came up in that final moment, you know, I hope it's not too late, and stop Steppenwolf, who just said for Darkseid. So he's summoning the power of, you know, evil. And Superman comes in and he doesn't punch him. He doesn't even punch him. He just takes all that evil on his shoulder. Oh my God, that is like so fucking scriptural. He bore the world on his shoulders. It's written in Isaiah, y'all. Man, that was trippy. That was so freaking trippy. Yo, listen. It was delayed gratification because, you know, Superman had saved the world the first time. And, you know, there was all this collateral damage and stuff. And people started blaming Superman for that. You know, he was blaming Superman for the Kryptonians coming to Earth. But this time, you know, this is also a repercussion of Superman dying and, you know, Steppenwolf coming to Earth and stuff. It's the same thing, except Superman handled business. Oh, without throwing a punch. Oh, and that's what I love about it. It's so cool, y'all. He didn't throw a punch. He's just like not impressed. Oh, yo, y'all don't understand why I'm tripping like this. I'm a Christian, okay? And when the adversary, the devil, comes with his best shot at me, you know, I could just say, in the name of the Most High, not impressed. Oh, y'all gotta understand. I'm talking spiritually. You understand what I'm saying? Oh man, listen. Why I like Zack Snyder for? I'm gonna be real with y'all because I'm a Christian. I gotta let y'all know I come from a Christocentric center. Okay. When the devil threw his best shot at Jesus, okay, he was on the cross, he was bleeding. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do. Father, how could you forsake me? Right? All that. Y'all gotta understand what I'm saying, because y'all, I talk things that have to do with life. I don't just talk, y'all. I'm not just talking. I'm talking things I experience and also, hi. So I'm gonna get y'all to understand what the heck I'm talking about, because y'all don't understand me yet. When Jesus was on the cross, he was in the worst condition he could. He was fucked up, okay? Jesus was fucked up on the cross, right? They fucked him up real bad, right? Israel and Palestine style, you know, they stabbed him up, you know what I'm saying? They beat him up till he was looking like a piece of fucking meat. If y'all seen The Passion of the Christ, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about, right? They ripped him up, man. He didn't look distinguishable. His eye sockets and everything. He can't see through his two eyes, all kinds of shit, right? His nose, he ain't got no nose. They ripped his nose off and shit. He looked like a fucking horror movie, okay? He's on the cross there, bleeding out, right? And he says, sabachthani to the Most High God. Ili, sabachthani. Okay? Now, understand this, y'all. God damn. Whoa. I gotta say it, bruh. The devil used human beings to take him out. He's dead. Follow me on this. They bury him. But early in the morning, he's back up and popping. Not impressed. Oh! See, what people don't understand is, you got the Don or the boss, and then you got the messengers. You got the hirelings. You got the people hired. You understand what I'm saying? Evil is hired to make good look great. Oh! Mercy, God. I knew I had to come on here. I'm going to say it again. It's not good serves evil. It's evil serves good. Y'all. Evil is put in place to make good look great. God damn. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't have Steppenwolf, you'd never know what Superman could look like. Superman had a glory. It's kind of like in basketball when you make a highlight reel because you dunk on somebody. The person you dunking on, they's the one that make you look so good, especially depending on the rank of them and their status and everything. It's the same thing. Superman dunked on Steppenwolf. He stepped on him without throwing a punch. Mercy, God. I could go all over the place with this, but I'm going to relax myself and say, hey, there is a scripture that says, put on the full armor of God. Of God. Now, let me explain that because some of y'all going to miss it. That don't mean that you're not going to be in suffering and pain. That don't mean that you might even succumb to the assault, the injuries, not spiritually, but physically succumb. That means you may be martyred. You may die. But the story ain't over there. There's something called a resurrection. You're going to come back. So in the end, it was like water falling off a waterproof surface. You just brush off your shoulder and say, not impressed. Whoa! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I love it. I love it. And remember, Superman came back from the dead. He was killed. He was destroyed. So when he came back this second round and said not impressed, it's because he already died. Oh my God. Doomsday killed him. Right? Doomsday impaled him. But no longer can Doomsday impale him. This is scripture. This is scripture. How much do I have to say? I don't need to preach. The movies will preach it for me. Oh, death, oh, where is your sting? Mercy, God. Mercy, God. I don't need to preach. The movie done said it. He wasn't impressed with what Steppenwolf was trying to do to Cyborg because he became death-proof. He had seen death. Mercy. Hey, Superman, man. Superman's my favorite superhero, as y'all know. Because Superman, in my life, is Jesus Christ, a.k.a. Joshua HaMashiach. You understand? I love the Muslim brethren. I love my Jewish brethren. I love them both. And they both understand what love is. Most of them. You got the people who use the religion for evil as a tool, and they have the people who live it. All right, man. Let me get to it. Let me get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to it. I just wanted to say the Snyderverse being used in other films is a form of flattery. It shows that people respect what the Snyderverse brought to the table. I just wanted to say that first and foremost. Let me get to the other stuff here. Let me get to it. I'm going to get to y'all. All right. First of all, shout out to Benjamin Rubenstein. If I ever see you, brother, I want to give you a big hug. Benjamin Rubenstein is a Jew, and he has been speaking out against Zionism. And he talks about a very fundamental thing here, and I want to let him say his piece. He says the craziest thing is seeing my son move inside his mother's belly. And there he is. He just kicked the belly right there. Boom, right there. Right there. It's crazy. He's moving around. He's moving around in there. Swimming and moving around in there. Praise God. The gift of life, ladies and gentlemen, is a gift. It's a gift that because you cannot make your own life. Therefore, why should you take your own life? It's just a principle, right? It had nothing to do with Bible or anything. It has to do with the Bible too. The Bible is, but you have to understand, the Bible and all these holy books, they're only observations on natural things that happen in our lives. You see, you don't have to read the Bible to come to an understanding that there are principles and laws in which the world is governed, and it's governed by someone, you know. So it's not surprising that things are sort of seemingly calming down. I'm going to talk about several different people. I'm going to mention you guys' names. I know they can target you. I've seen them. I've seen Zionists targeting people, and that's because of desperation. And we're also trying to censor people, try to muffle people, trying to quiet people. But it's not going to change nothing, right? They try to quiet all the people by, banning TikTok, but people move to Red Note, right? Everybody's moved to Red Note, right? Because you can't unsee something that is wrong. You can't unsee it, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks to social media, we're going to talk about it. We got so many allies, so many good people out here in this world, ladies and gentlemen. I stopped looking at what they called. They like to say, oh, he called a Muslim, and he called a Christian, and he called a Jew, and he called a Hindu, and he called a Buddhist, and he called I'm tired of that shit. I'm going to look at you and how you conduct yourself. I'm going to know what and who you are. We all children of God. We are all chosen if we so answer the call. All right, y'all. Here we go. Mohammed Safa, he works with the United Nations. He's a human rights activist. He said, Gaza has taught me a lot of people who claim to be human rights activists are only active when it applies to people of a specific background or ethnicity. Bruh, you're so true. And he been under pressure for a good while in there, Your favorite guy, shout out to this young man. Generation Z, I'm very proud of you guys for seeing the truth and not playing around. Generation Z, I am very proud of you. He is part of Generation Z. PCRF is lying. NERA is lying. The UN is lying. Oxfam is lying. UNICEF is lying. The ICC is lying. UNRWA is lying. B'Tselem is lying. The World Health Organization, the WHO is lying. Al Jazeera is lying. Journalists are lying. Palestinians are lying. The Red Cross is lying. Anti-Zionists are lying. Gaza Ducts is lying. The West Bank is lying. History books are lying. The Red Crescent is lying. College students are lying. Anti-Zionist Jews are lying. Middle Eastern Eye is lying. Our grandparents are lying. Hospitals in Gaza are lying. Live stream videos are lying. Human Rights Watch is lying. World Central Kitchen is lying. Amnesty International is lying. Palestinian hostages are lying. Palestinian Christians are lying. The Gaza Health Ministry is lying. Doctors Without Borders is lying. The UN Special Rapporteur is lying. The World Surgical Foundation is lying. The IOF surgeons admitting crimes are lying. 146 countries supporting Palestine are lying. Israel's the only one telling the truth. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my favorite guy. He like Superman. You know, it's not popular. Sorry. It's not in mainstream popular to be saying these things for jeopardization of your job, your career, etc., etc. But yo, shout out to my boy, the favorite guy who was being targeted by the FBI, etc. And they trying to censor him and quiet him, but he just keeps it moving. Generation Z, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. Free Palestine, ladies and gentlemen. Why I say that again? Because if you free Palestine, now we break the chains also for our own lives. And the power gets back to the people. And you guys get to dictate and determine what your government should be doing and hold them accountable. And if they don't, take back the power into your hands. Ask yourself why we need to have different countries and places, why people are not free to travel where they need to travel, because all these regulations and laws and rules for the wealthy, for the oligarchs, for the people who have the money. They can do whatever they want. They have no rules. But when it comes to the people who don't have money and are in the system working like fucking slaves, they have to follow all these rules because that's how it keeps the powerful people in power. It's a fucking plantation, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in a plantation. The world is still under slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of them I cannot stop other times. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you hear me sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever had. Redemption songs. All right? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving. All right, I'm not going to do this. This one's a little too long. But I'm going to talk about this young lady here, Blakey. Shout out to Blakey.
Nice. The way the people over at Redbook at Xiaohongshu are so nice. The way that the people have just like opened up the app to us, foreigners and TikTok refugees, and just like started to show us the ropes and like how the app works and teaching us about their culture and China and things that we never get to see because of the giant curtain of propaganda that blocks us off from the Chinese has been so incredible to see. Like truly incredible to see. Even putting aside how incredibly welcoming and kind the Chinese people on this app are, it's also mind-blowing to see how nice China is. Like, no, they have so much cool shit there, okay? They have it's crazy. It's like China is, in the advancements that they have and all the cool shit that they have, reminds me of like what the US could be if we weren't a failing, crumbling empire that's like resting on our laurels and the fact that we're technically still a superpower, but like really we're kind of a rotting country that's completely collapsing in on itself. And all the billionaires and corporations know this, so they're trying to loot as much as they can from the treasury and then run out the back door after. And the only thing that is propping our country up at this point, aside from corporations' stock buybacks and their continued, merger with the government, is the military. Which is a very sad state of affairs. That's the biggest thing that we're exporting, our military. And by the way, I'm not saying that everything's perfect. I'm not trying to say that it's something that it's not. I will say it is very censorious. But the problem is with people getting really exercised about that is that, A, we are guests on their platforms. So I don't demand the same lack of censorship that I demand from my own fucking country, like with TikTok, But also, even though we are all very upset about TikTok, and don't get it twisted, I am, TikTok is incredibly censorious. That's the gag about this whole thing, is that they keep talking about TikTok and China and how it's brainwashing. TikTok is like more censorious than most social media platforms here. So
Hi, TikTok refugees. I'm Leo. Welcome to Red Note.
Hey guys from TikTok. I am A from China. Well, I don't even know where to start.
So nice to see you all. As a native Chinese and also international influencers who can speak 5 different languages.
Hello everyone, I'm Go Yuan. Hanko. I have heard that many Americans come to Red Book recently. I'd like to say welcome to you all.
You can experience the culture and the calm of China. Besides, you can also get to know a very exciting blogger.
Thank you. Finally. If you have some question in Red Book, you can ask me.
So does Red Book have Chinese propaganda, and how did these people initiate to get all Gen Z to move to Red Book? And I'll tell you what, it is something planned, and it was a kind of contingency that went into play. Somebody must have coordinated with people in China to make that happen. And the Chinese probably saw this opportunity and they just jumped at it. So it's not like it's, oh yeah, everybody just spontaneously and suddenly found Red Book. No, it's not like that. But anyway, the point I'm making is that we are seeing people take the power back into their hands. And yes, you have to kind of juggle between the lesser of two evils all the time. But at the same time, they're taking the power back in their hand. And that's the thing that people need to understand. With respect to Alex Jones, this is an undercover FBI agent who is trying to find something to take out Donald Trump with. They're desperately trying to take out Donald Trump because Donald Trump's not he's not predictable. Donald Trump does some interesting things, and right now we have a ceasefire that will be implemented on Sunday. I pray for this guy all the time, Abdullah. Just one of many Palestinians out there and families, just trying to struggle to make it through. And I pray for him all the time. He's in a nice area. You can see there's a nice house behind him there. Yeah, Palestine, it's rough in Palestine. I don't wish it on anybody. And I really love the kind-hearted, loving people there. And I love the kind and loving-hearted people also in Israel. I'm not trying to disparage between people again and places. I know there are good people in Israel. I know that. And there are good people in Palestine. And what people need to understand is, just like how the American people want something different to their governments, the people of Palestine want something different to their governments. The people of Israel, a lot of them don't think their governments are failing them again. So you got to understand, this is not something unique to one part of the world. A lot of people are dissatisfied with where their governments are going because a lot of the governments are put in play who play the script that they're given. Politicians usually try to play scripts. This is why a guy like Donald Trump, who's not, he is a politician, don't get me wrong, and he is playing a script. But what I'm saying is the kind of unpredictable thing he pushed for with the ceasefire here so far. And I'm just grateful that there is a ceasefire of some kind. Okay. Will Israel even follow that? I don't know. It will, but it's mentally, it helps people to relax a little bit. Now, having said that, I'm not satisfied with that. Hell no. No. Israel needs to leave the occupied territories, all of them. All the 1967 occupied territories need to leave, period. The territories which were the 1967 borders need to be reestablished, and Israel needs to be where it is, and Palestine will be next door. That's how it has to be. Palestine must have access to their, they must have a military, they must have their medical services, all the essential services that a country is supposed to have, they're supposed to have it. Okay? And just like with Lebanon, Israel needs to move out of southern Lebanon. It needs to move out of southern Syria and wherever it has gone to, and it needs to stay within its borders. That's it. Okay? I know how Israel was created. I know, but America was created pretty much the same way. It exists now, so it's there. But having said that, I am so happy for the Palestinians mentally. I know Israel is bombing the shit out of them. Not as much as they're bombing them a lot more. They intensified the bombing, but it's a desperation attempt again to try and wipe out as many of them as possible. The Palestinians know how to get out of it, boy. These guys know how to run. These motherfuckers know how to get out of it. I give them that. The Palestinians know how to get out of it. It's not, hey, you know, if it was any other population, they're gonna decimate like almost wipe out like almost 3/4 of them. Not the Palestinians, bro. Them ninjas know how to run. They know how to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get out of it. They remind me of black people in America. They know how to dig out, bruh. I gotta tell y'all something because this is about me too. I almost got robbed Saturday night. I was coming back pretty late after selling and stuff. And dude, if it wasn't for me digging out of there, I got out of it. I dug out of it, bro. So when I'm laughing about the Palestinians getting out of there, I know from personal experience, I got out of. My feet did not fail me. Oh man! In the end, God was good to me, and I still kept my money and I kept all my stock and everything. So that was a good thing. The police came on the scene real quick and went after the guys. Black people just like myself, by the way. So you know, I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, man. Free Palestine. Shout out to my boy Abdullah Omar, and a bunch of Muhammad's, and they. You know, I haven't been able to talk to my Israeli counterparts in a good minute, and there are people in Israel, man. They used to talk with the people in Palestine and everything before this October 7th shit came down. You know, the school teachers used to have classes, and they would stream with each other and talk with each other. It was a conversations between people in Gaza and people in the West Bank and people in Israel. That was the beautiful thing, because you got families, you got people who are married to people up in there. Like I said before, you got friends. Some people are good friends with each other because of the similar trauma of losing loved ones. So it was a connection, man. It was a fucking connection, and it was a kind of like a peace. Even though the Palestinians were still being oppressed and stuff, there was kind of like a peace between them. And I can tell you right now that bond, even though it's not connected right now by technology, I can tell you right now they're praying for each other. I can tell you that there's some real kind people up in Israel. I'm telling you right now, really nice people, kind people. I was looking at a guy who does questionnaires in Israel, right? He goes and he asks Israelis a lot of questions. And he was doing this survey asking them if Israel should go back and resettle Gaza. And the majority of Israelis said, no, we don't think that's a good idea at all. They said, first of all, you're taking away the people's land. That's going to cause more war, And then they went on to say that, some of them said that, it's not in the best interest because look what happened with Bet Salem and not Bet Salem, the places which were near to Gaza when the wall was breached and stuff, and they went in and invaded, right? So they said, no, we don't want that. If anything, we want a buffer zone between Gaza and Israel so that, it'll be, harder to get to us. And then another lady said, I actually live in central Israel for that reason. I don't want to be on any of the borders. I don't want to be anywhere near there because it's too dangerous. So they even acknowledge the danger of being in the borders. But the thing about it is now you could be in central Israel right now, remember, man, they was bombing the shit out of these countries. Yemen has accelerated the amount of hypersonic missiles that are landing in Israel. So the reason why Israel is even doing a ceasefire is because they're taking a lot of damage. Their soldiers are very tired. A lot of soldiers have been traumatized by what has happened, the kinds of things and acts they had to do. Because remember, these are human beings. These are people, right? They have emotions. They're not drones. You know what I mean? So you can rile them up a bit and make them think that all Gazans are all Palestinians are animals, and you can pump that adrenaline into them for a while, but after a while it's gonna wear off, and then humanity is gonna come back and they'll be like, "What the fuck did I just do?" Right? And then they won't want to commit suicide. So and then now we have to now we're like, oh shit, you have to give them a reason to live because they're so guilty. You have to understand these are the consequences of war, but these fucking people who push war all the time, don't have to excuse my F-bombs because it's very frustrating. These people who push these wars, and you have to ask yourself, why aren't they going out and fighting the wars then? If you want all these wars in Senate and in Congress, go fight them. Right? Like Wonder Woman said, all of y'all sitting in the background here, y'all know nowhere near the battlefield, making decisions for the battlefield. No, get in the battlefield. That's how kings in the old days used to do it. That's how the Amazons did it. Get out there and lead them. If you want to have certain initiatives happen, get out there and lead them in the initiatives. Do like what Benoit did. Go out there and fight. Otherwise, I don't want to hear nothing from you. You're sending all these young people to go and die in the name of you getting the corporations fat in pockets and you building your political career off the blood of people going to do, again, plantation. It's a plantation. Why is it that the Palestinians are seen and not really being paid attention by every single media outlet in the world? The poor people. They're seen as poor people. Right? Haiti is seen as poor people. We don't even know what's going on in Haiti. They cover it in the news every now and then. It's always something negative. Poor people. Once you're dealing with poor people, they feel they can do anything with these poor people and nobody will pay attention. I'm going to give you another example because this stuff relates to us here and now, wherever you are in the world. Why doesn't homelessness make big news in America, in Trinidad, in the Caribbean, all worldwide, globally? Why isn't it not an issue? You know why? Because most homeless people are not seen as human beings. That's the truth. You fall off the grid, nobody even notices you. That's the truth. If we're going to be real out here about dehumanization, as soon as somebody don't got no job, as soon as somebody don't got no place to stay, all of a sudden they fall off the grid. Nobody respects that person. Or why you don't get a job? Or why you don't do this? Why you don't try and do something to make money for yourself? That's how people treat them. They treat them like less than children. They treat them dismissive. That's our society. Our society doesn't believe. They believe that you have to work hard for what you got. And those people who don't want to do that, they are lazy. They are a burden on the system. They are delinquent. And because we use those words, we can become dismissive of these people. That's the truth. This is real talk. Okay? And I'm not saying that there aren't people who are lazy. I'm not saying that there aren't people who are they're not trying to consume the system and abuse the system. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Even my mind, and I've been homeless. Even my mind, I look at them like, "Well, what are you coming to me for?" Right? Because we've been so conditioned and brainwashed into believing that the lowest of the low of our society is not to be considered. They're negative, they're vermin, they're pests, they're animals. So what's happening in Palestine isn't so far removed from the human condition. And you and me and other people, we rate people by a scale. We see somebody rich, we see somebody successful, we rate them up there. We see somebody poor, we see somebody struggling, we rate them down here. We don't know nothing about their character. We know nothing about them as individuals, but immediately we start rating them. That's real talk. Now, I know I'm preaching to somebody today because I'm not here to say that all I'm saying is true and right and good and great and gay. That's for you to test. But what I'm saying is this, that the movies that Zack Snyder does got me thinking these things. It helped. I was a Christian, but I always asked myself, and it's a beautiful song by Michael W. Smith. I want to sing that song. I'm going to sing it one day. It says, looking for a reason, moving through the night to find my place in this world. My place in this world. That is something that a Christian will ask themselves a number of times. It's not just the first time. You always have to reevaluate. Am I on the right course? Lord, I'm doing your will. Do I have the right place? Am I phasing in right with the right people? Am I having good relationships with the people who's supposed to get those relationships? To find your place in this world is not just what your job is, what it is you do, the character you are. No, it's also how you relate with individuals, each person to person relationship. It's all about relationships. And Zack Snyder's movies, again, give that spiritual message. Zack Snyder's Justice League was about relationships. I'm sorry, I'm preaching this morning. I realize that. I'm sorry. But that's just how it's going this morning. So it's all about relationships, because relationships will determine how you treat people. Business is all about relationships. You think about anything you have to talk about in this world, it's about relationships. Okay? That's the truth. It boils down to that. So, at the end of the day, when you look at Zack Snyder's Justice League and how it ended and how each person stepped up to the plate to do what they were, shall I say born or reborn to do? Shall I say reborn? I love it so much. I can't say reborn to do. Oh my God, that's crazy right there. Y'all know I'm a Christian, right? So we believe in rebirth, right? Victor Stone, reborn as Victor Stone, the cyborg, right? Barry Allen, reborn as the Flash. Huh? Yeah, you follow me? Arthur Curry, reborn. But how? How was he reborn? How was he reborn? He was born part Atlantean, part human. So how was he reborn? Where was his rebirth? I don't know. That's something for you guys to probably answer for me. Diana, she was born as an Amazon and the daughter of Zeus. How was she reborn? Well, in Wonder Woman movie, we see her rebirth in her reassessment of humanity and her recommitment to them, not based on outcomes. So we saw her rebirth more as a mental thing. With Aquaman, I don't know. I think when he had that conversation with Vulko, I think after that he was reborn. Because Mira told him that now the responsibility to protect Atlantis and to chase the monster was his own. And he took that very seriously, and he went down into Gotham and he pursued Steppenwolf, and he was able to help the League as well, But you had Cyborg, who was literally reborn, Superman, who was literally reborn, Batman, who was literally reborn. That was in BVS. He was rebirthed when Superman told him that he needed to find him and save Martha. So we know that was his rebirth. I'm not too sure about Wonder Woman. Oh, yes, I know, BVS. Wonder Woman's rebirth was in BVS, that's right. Because when Bruce Wayne sent her the picture of herself from the 1917s or whatever it was, she closed everything and left. And even though she went on the plane, when she saw Doomsday, she changed her mind and came in and saved Batman. How did she find Batman? I don't know. I guess she was following the trail of action. Yeah, she must have been following the trail of action. But incredible. But the point is, anyway, that, that's what it's all about, in my opinion, with Zack Snyder's films. I feel there's a spiritual component to them that draws me to these. I would not be talking about Zack Snyder's stuff if it had a spiritual component. I'm pretty sure about it. And that's what I like about his movies, of course. So there's a little campaign going on online right now. We're not going to say much about it, but Aki, he's talking about Make the Batfleck movie, which I'm totally in support of. And here's Mohammed Safa again, showing all of the aid trucks now entering Gaza. So thank God they're finally getting the food and stuff that they're supposed to get. And Israel's not blocking the trucks from coming through like that anymore. So this is very, very good. So thank God. So Donald Trump has done something tremendous for the people of Palestine. No doubt about it, getting this ceasefire deal nailed down. And also, he's also done a great thing for people around the world in seeing this. Now, the next thing he needs to do, which he probably won't do, but he still needs to do, is stop the aid and arms to Israel. He needs to stop that. Take the money back and help the American people. The American people need that money now. Now, I know Trump has been they've tried to assassinate Trump a couple of times. And that's because I believe that Donald Trump, personally, I believe that he really wants to focus on America and not focus on outside of America. So he's trying to get all these wars ironed out and all the issues and takes and any kind of rumble. He's trying to get it sorted out so he can deal with America. But he's taking a lot of money from big supporters of Israel. So he's got to deliver there somehow with the West Bank. I don't know how he's going to do that. Or if he may do it in a clever way. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's dancing. He's tap dancing right now because they will kill him so quickly. If he's too strident, they will kill him. I'm telling you right now. They're not playing around. I know they're hunting down the deep state people and stuff, but it's not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think. So thank God. I'm so happy for my brothers over there in Palestine. I know a lot of them they had depression, some of them were suicidal. But you just have to hang in there. I'm telling you, the world has seen what Israel is now, and the world is going to clap back in an epic way, and we're going to get a free Palestine. We're going to get it. I don't know how soon, but we're going to get it. We're going to get Palestine. We're not going to get Israel. Israel is no longer going to exist like Israel. It's going to be Palestine, and hopefully, or we may keep Israel and we may have Palestine next to it. Whatever. But what I do know is it's time for people to be able to live their lives and the governments of people to stop acting against the interests of the people. And you have it in my country, and it's a phenomenon that happening around the world, and we're seeing the separation of the people we elected to serve us. We're seeing that deep separation between them and us. They're not seeming to do anything that they were once pretending to do things in our interest. But now we can clearly see them serve the people who have the most wealth and sway and power in the country. And they have a much bigger say. These few people than the masses. If the masses are telling you something, it's a lot more people. And it's supposed to be a democracy, but apparently that doesn't happen. It's the biggest contributor, the people with the biggest money. I've seen this in churches. I've seen this in institutions. I've seen people have their sway in Hollywood. You know, it's always the people with the most money, power, and sway. They have a lot more say than the masses. And that's not what I'm not saying the masses know everything. And sometimes you have to do things contrary to the masses. But for the most part, when the masses are asking for, it's very reasonable. They're asking for things like, hey, could you increase the minimum wage? Hey, could you make healthcare more available and people treat us like human beings? You know, it's healthcare, you know what I'm saying? And they're asking for things simple like, hey, could I just at least get paid a little bit more money so I can exist because everything's going up. You know, it's just simple things. And yet these simple things, the governments they're hesitant to do. And it's just like crazy. Like, if you're a government, the first thing you want to have is your people as comfortable and happy as possible. That's what you want. That's why you came into power. Yeah. And then you try to get investments and stuff. Of course, you got your business community, so you got to satisfy them. And then you got your labor force and your people, right? And so you're looking out for everybody. But it's like, I don't know, man. Something happened and the pendulum changed. Or maybe it was always this way and we just never noticed it. I don't know what it is. Okay, here's my boy again, your favorite guy. I've been talking a lot more about Palestine. I want to talk about Restore the Snyderverse for a reason. All right, look at this. The evidence is so overwhelming of Zack Snyder's presence in DC.
298, 299, 300. Ooh, that felt good. Zack Snyder!
A gym in your office. Pretty cool, man.
Thanks, guys. Teen Titans, right?
He knows who he is.
Zach! May I call you Zach? It's the 365th episode of our show, and we want the best for our fans. We'd like you to give us the Snyder Cut. Sounds interesting.
Really? You have the interest?
Sure. What did you have in mind? I could give you the epic period piece look, or the dark and gray style, or the post-apocalyptic cut. Whatever you think would work best.
Yeah, man. Love your style.
You love my style? Awesome. Well, I can definitely give you that. All right, now sit down, relax, and let me work my magic. Oh, man. This is going to be epic.
Let's go wild on these fools! Where did the rain come from?
Who cares? The rain makes this battle look way more epic.
Tell me, dark side, you bruise easily.
Robin. Wake up, Robin. Wake up. I'm done.
That was epic, bro. That was epic. So this is what they said. Hey, check this out. So the grunts are trying now to attack Snyder fans for no reason. And I can tell you why. When we argue with them and stuff, we keep on showing them the facts, and they're coming from emotion, and they don't like that. So they decided, we're going to assassinate all of them. We're going to take them out. And then we won't have that resistance, and then we can build our thing. And they don't understand. You can take us out if you want. It's not going to change anything. Because the sentiment is the same out there. We're not disseminating anything. This is not us circulating something to convince people. We are reflecting what people think. The Voice of Yemen says, if the genocide ends, will you continue to support us? Absolutely. Until Palestine is free, until the occupation is over, and the Palestinian people are free to self-determine and build their own society, absolutely. I'm there with you guys till the end. Which one of these 4 Batman Arkham video games was your favorite and why? You got Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. I'm not going to lie, the Arkham Batman games are great. So it is what it is. Remember when Dan Lin took over Netflix and all the anti-Snyder trolls on this app said he would get rid of Snyder? I do, and that was just another lie by the trolls on this app. Yeah. So the Chinese didn't come to play on Red Note. How long before politicians realized banning TikTok was a mistake? I agree with you, lady. Now this shit is gonna drive you guys nuts. Check this out. Preparation for the jump. Barry's notes. Hashtag the Snyderverse. Check this out. So Barry's setting up to jump through time back to where he will meet Bruce Wayne. You remember he said, it's Lois Lane. She's the key. Find us, Bruce. Am I too soon? I'm too soon. Right? Oh, man. Look at this shit right here. This is what I like about sci-fi. Look at that. They showing you how he would jump. They're showing his jump frequency and shit. They're showing the machine. They showing Barry with this exoskeleton thing to prop him up. He's so freaking crazy. This is why we need the sequels to Zack Snyder's Justice League, y'all. No joke, man. Serious talk. And Barry and Cyborg, they really work out nice. Those two are really nice. So I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. Man. That is so damn cool. I was like, fuck. When I saw that, I was like, what? Big John, he came out with, Superman Batman when Batman took Lewis. So, people talking about Batman having sex with Lewis and having a child. Y'all must not have seen the edition of Superman Batman. If y'all did, y'all would know Bruce Wayne dated Lois Lane. Yeah. Clark knew about it, though. So it's not like it's a strange comment. Samuel says, the bell cannot be unrung. He has heard it and he's coming. And this here is the whole history of Darkseid in the First Great War. So you see Darkseid there, the Mother Boxes. You see the parademons, and you see the Age of Heroes, the heroes coming there. And this is the whole place here. And this is like hell. This is like apocalypse, where they're coming from. And there's these wars. This is mankind here warring. So cool. Genocide doesn't end or disappear because of a ceasefire. This is true. Zionists are getting cooked on Red Note. This is a thing tractor. Okay, let's see.
Ceasefire, and corporate media is doing its manufacturing of consent as per usual. But I just want to remind everyone of the many war crimes and invasions committed by Israel in the Gaza Strip. Israel always announces a ceasefire when a U.S. president is being inaugurated. That last happened in 2009 during Operation Cast Lead, which ended when Obama made a phone call to the Israeli prime minister and told them to stop for the inauguration. Once again, this is purely a political move. The Palestinians are a political prop, and we are being gaslit. This is not a ceasefire. It is a quick commercial break, and I guarantee you that Israel will break the ceasefire, as it has always done when a ceasefire is announced, and it will continue bombing the Gaza Strip. As was the case in 2009, Israel broke the ceasefire agreement within a matter of weeks. So if the ceasefire agreement happened in January, by February, they were bombing the Gaza Strip again. Look, it's already saying phase 1, Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal to last 6 weeks. Of course, remember that there's always phases. There's always phases to the ceasefire when it comes to Palestine. But whenever another country, for example, like Egypt, when Egypt got into a a war with Israel and they demanded a ceasefire. They immediately got it. It didn't last 6 weeks. They're already basically telling you this ceasefire deal is only going to last for a couple of days, and they'll get back to it in the spring. As long as Israel is allowed to exist and to exert this kind of power geopolitically, this will continue. And the American public will pat itself on the back, move on to other things, and meanwhile, the Palestinians will continue to be bombed.
But the default everywhere, but particularly Southern California, is tinderbox.
Israel and Palestine have reached a ceasefire, and corporate media is doing its...
I think this is pretty good. Seeing people straight up lie that Superman destroyed Metropolis is wild. Here's the only damage Superman did in Metropolis. Basically, he smashed Zod through some building stuff and smashed him through some glass panes on the outside of a building. This is true. Everything else Zod did. This is true. Restore the Snyderverse. They can never make me hate you, Henry Cavill. This is true again. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. He'll be an outcast. He'll be a god to them. He was both. But he just wanted to be a guy, helping people. Ian Carroll, shout out to him. Guys, this red road thing is really interesting and hilarious. So, there's much more I could say, but we're going to keep it at that. I'm going to wrap it up right here. You guys have a good one. It was fun talking with you guys. I took an hour and 22 minutes, 12 seconds. You guys have a blessed day. Much love to you guys as you go through your day, and safety to you. Peace.